And happy Tuesday. This is House Talk. My name is ZET, aka Colorado's Rockstar Realtor, and I am here as always with Mike Benton of Benton Capital, and we have a very special guest that I am super excited about today. Mike, could you do the honors and introduce our guest?
Absolutely. Yours truly, my partner, Crystal Stearns, is on with us today, so super excited to put her in the hot seat and drill her, with some hard questions. Why don't you lead us the way, Zach?
Yeah, definitely. So we are excited to keep this thing going. We will be here every Tuesday, as always, at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we want to thank you for tuning in. So whether you're catching us live or later on repeat, feel free to drop any questions you have. And we always like to come back and hit any questions or help serve you and meet you where you are. So if you do have any questions or needs or anything that we might be able to help with anything real estate related, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And so to get things rolling, Crystal, just wanted to find out about yourself to start with. Where are you from originally, and what got you into doing financing and lending and loans?
Great question. So I've been in Colorado for over 20 years, but I still consider home Texas.
Okay.
That's where I was born and half raised. But like I said, I've been here for so long now that this is kind of home. Got into mortgages when my mom purchased a home, and I was interested in the real estate side. And then I was like, the money side might be fun. So I've been doing that for over a decade. I'm a mom of 4 kiddos. I'm also a property investor. I have 14 properties now,
Awesome.
kind of all over the nation. So that's fun for me because it ties into what I do, but it's also something that I really enjoy.
That's awesome. So, all about building wealth through real estate, which is something that fires me up, along with building generational wealth, which is something that I'm sure is motivating for you as well.
Yep.
With 4 kiddos. How old are your kids?
17, 13, 7, and 4.
Awesome. Okay. Well, those are fun ages for sure, all together at once.
She's a circus clown, so she gets to juggle
a lot of fun
as well.
And the generational wealth is what got me interested. I figure by the time, especially my 4-year-old, once he wants to buy a house here in Colorado Springs, it'll be worth over $1 million. So picked up some houses, a few years ago. They've already doubled in value. And so I'm trying to have a house for each child here in Colorado Springs, and they can live in it or sell it.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's brilliant, really.
Thank you.
And you have 17 of them now to choose from. It sounds like you have some options for them. So that's amazing.
So next question. What's a common myth in our business?
Oh, there's so many. I think the biggest one is people thinking they need 20% down because that was the way it was, kind of back in the day. Probably more so our grandparents' generation at this point for people my age, but I think that was the misconception from a lot of parents. You need 20% down. That used to be a rule, and then they opened up home ownership, and so now you can do as little as, VA. You don't need anything down. You can do 3.5, conventional as low as 3. So I think that's probably the biggest one. And then perfect credit. People think, I've got to get my credit perfect. And for one, get with the lender to see what your credit is, because it definitely can vary from what you see. Mine actually is lower on Credit Karma, which is most people, it's higher on Credit Karma. So it just depends. So get with the lender, let them look and let them, let you know what to do, because it doesn't have to be perfect to qualify. I mean, you can buy a house FHA, VA with as low as like a 580, sometimes even lower if it works out on paper. So
that's awesome.
That's a great point.
So you're entrepreneurial. We get that, right? So what's a tip that you can give our audience that might help their entrepreneurial journey? Or like if they're a real estate investor, like what's one tip?
Ooh.
Or 2, because I know you got a lot of them.
I would say consistency and grit. You have to have. Well, there's a reason why entrepreneurs make up for a small portion of society. The 9-to-5 works for a lot of people. It's hard to have the entrepreneurial spirit, and the grit, I think, is probably the hardest part. That's been a challenge for me, but also I think what's made me successful. And then as far as building real estate wealth, I think the best thing to do is to live in the home for a year, buy another one, live in the home for a year, buy another one. If I didn't have 4 children, I would do that every single year. So
I have 2, so I can understand and appreciate that. That makes me think of a question. If you had someone come to you that you are really close to, family or friend, and they were looking to get a loan, start a mortgage, what is a hack that you would give them? What's a little tip or some kind of hack that you would help to provide them?
So back to living in it for a year and then flipping it into a rental, because you can buy something, like it just said, as low as 3% down. If you can find a duplex or some type of a multi-unit that works for you, even better. To live in one unit, rent the others out. Again, I'm not in a position to do that now, but if I knew what I knew now back then before I had kids, I definitely would have done that, because now you can have 2 doors or 3 doors or 4 doors. Again, live in one, rent the others out, do it for a year, go buy something else. So to be able to buy something with that low down payment versus if I was to buy an investment property today, I would need 25% down. So if I can buy it as owner occupied, live in it for a year, that'd be number one. Number two is when it comes to credit, a lot of people, especially with newer credit, for example, my little brother, when he turned 18, he didn't have any credit, right? So how can we fix that? I added him to 3 of my credit cards that I had for a few years, and I was able to give him that kind of credit history to establish credit for him pretty much instantly.
That's great. So that's a really good hack and tip. For someone who might have challenge credit, maybe who's not really in a position at the moment to be approved, is there any hack or anything that you could impart on them that maybe would help supercharge their credit or get them to where they need to be a little quicker?
So same hack is I would see if you have a family member that can add you to a credit card. Make sure that credit card company reports to credit, because not all of them do, but they can literally call, let's say, American Express and say, hey, I want to add my son or daughter, my cousin to this card. Will you guys report this to credit? Obviously, they want it to be a good card, low balance, something they paid on time, but it can basically boost their score because it's credit history. A lot of times people struggle with credit because they don't have the credit history. It's like, how do you get credit if you never had credit, right? That's always the hang up. And then if they have anything negative, it's calling those companies and saying, hey, what can I do to pay this off to get it deleted? Getting it deleted is the key. Paying it off doesn't help, because paying it off makes it a new account again. So it actually can hurt you. So if you're trying to do it on your own, those are my tips. Credit repair companies are great. We have one that we trust that we'll recommend our clients to. But again, the biggest thing I see is someone, you're 18, you took out a credit card thinking it's free money, not really understanding, and you went late, and then that's all you have, and you haven't built credit. Yeah, it's super common. So building the credit and then being on time and having, that solid credit. And if you don't, there's ways around that. So again, getting added to a card, and anything that you have negative, getting with those companies and getting it removed.
So if they don't have someone that they can add to a card or something, is getting like a secured credit card still a good idea?
Yep, I love that. So secured card, you can go to your local bank and you can ask them for what's called a secured card, which means you put, say, $500 in a savings account, because then the bank says, hey, if you don't pay, I've got $500 in a savings account, but they give you a card for that $500. Go put gas on it, pay it off, let it sit there. That's it. Use it a couple of times here and there. Just let it sit there. Let it build up that credit history.
Okay, awesome.
No, I love this. I love it. So let's jump onto something more fun, though. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Jen asked this question. I really like Colorado. I like Colorado. I have my vacation homes. I have a house in Florida, and
we gotta get that lake house though.
Need the lake house. That would be my dream, I would say. Yeah, but I don't know where yet. So
there you go. So what about movies? What's your favorite movie?
Don't think I have one.
Okay, Zeb, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a tough one.
You don't have it?
Yeah, not right off the top of my head.
Obviously,
like
you do.
Yeah,
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, I have so many favorite movies. There's a lot. It's kind of hard to say.
Me and my daughters watched Enough with J-Lo last night.
Oh, that's a good one.
We've seen that a couple of times, but I like that for kind of that female empowerment, and I like to watch stuff like that with my daughters.
Cool. So what about podcasts? Like, obviously you like House Talk with ZET and the Dome. But what's your second favorite podcast?
Probably Mortgage Market Radio would probably be my next one.
How about you, ZET?
Mortgage Market Radio. I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm sure I can get a lot of really great insight from that.
I also like Dateline.
Dateline?
the crime.
Don't they just rip the audio right off? So it's like not,
really?
Yeah, so if something's happening on the show, you don't get to see it because they're just really you're just listening to the audio from it. Is that?
Yeah, kind of, but they do a really good job.
Okay.
And it's shorter. I don't have time to watch TV.
Yeah, no, I don't either. So I appreciate that. So for real estate, my favorite podcast. Well, this one's not so much real estate, but it is kind of real estate centric. Is A Good Life by Brian Buffini.
Okay.
Yeah. So it used to be the Brian Buffini podcast, but now it's A Good Life. And so that one's really great. I like Deeper Pockets.
Yeah.
Not Deeper Podcast, but Deeper Pockets. That one's really good for real estate. So those are probably the ones I listen to the most, I would say.
So how about if you weren't a loan officer, what would you be?
Ooh, I would definitely be in the volunteer world of doing something with social work, and I want to be a professional baby cuddler.
Professional baby cuddler. We'll keep that in
That's
mind.
a real thing.
Yeah.
So is that on baby number 3? Bring the baby by.
Okay, no.
Crystal will cuddle it, and then send
Yes.
us. I'll do your lawn.
No, it's
I'll
for
keep it in mind.
it's for the babies in the NICU.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That is.
How about
really
you,
cool.
Zet? Like, I'm curious.
If I wasn't in real estate, I think I would travel and maybe be a photographer or something like that. That would allow me to travel the world and see awesome, unique, exciting places, and then experience it in that way
I love that.
through that lens,
That would be fun.
pun intended.
That's awesome. Cool.
What about you, Mike?
Oh, what about me? I think I'd go back to my old job, like house flipping, house investing.
Well, let's get you back in there.
This
It's
is
a
the
great
only
time to invest.
This is the only business I know. So it's like, I don't know. I don't have any, maybe a ski instructor if I was a better skier. I'm not a good enough skier to be an instructor, but if I was like an expert skier, I could see being an instructor.
We're going soon, actually, me and Brian, so you should go with us. Maybe.
Heck yeah. Let's do it.
We're going up. Yeah. So if anyone wants to go, reach out, slide in the DMs, and we'll see if we can work that out.
Maybe a Tuesday, and we'll do the podcast from
the slopes,
the slopes in Breckenridge or Beaver Creek.
That'll be a good excuse. I think we can pull that off.
Yeah.
So,
any final thoughts, Crystal? What's your prediction for the rest of 2023?
Oh, I'm excited. I think that there's been a lot of negativity around the real estate. The news has said the sky is falling for quite some time. Since 2018, they were expecting a reoccurrence of 2008. Anyone who understands what happened in 2008 would know that that's not happening. 2008, a lot of it was lending fraud, appraisal fraud, and now we have so much red tape to where we can't get away with anything. Loan officers can't be dirty like they were before. But it was also investors just being greedy, right? So now they've protected that, and now it's just realizing that yes, rates have gone up and now they've come back down, and this is probably where they're going to be for a while. So figure out how to make that work for you. At the end of the day, we all need a place to live, and owning a home is better than renting a home. The tax benefits are there. So I'm not rate focused, never have been. I'm payment focused, and I'm goal focused. So even when I buy rental properties, I'm not looking necessarily at the rate, and sometimes not even the payment. I'm not too focused on the cash flow. I'm more focused on the appreciation of the home. So that's what's building my nest egg, is the appreciation.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming on with us today, and we'll have you back over the next couple months and see if your predictions come true.
Yeah.
Which I think they will.
They will.
Any final thoughts for next week, Zet?
We're looking forward to having another great guest. So definitely tune back in. We'll be here every week. Same mortgage and real estate time, same mortgage, real estate place, or house talk, house time. I couldn't come up with a good little slogan, but we'll be back. And we're looking forward to really amping it up this year. We're going to be increasing the quality, the output, the guests. And as you can see, we're just getting rock star guests in here and already amping it up. And so really looking forward to what we have coming for you, what we have planned for you. And if you guys have any questions or need anything at all, let us know. But yeah, I definitely want to get you back, Crystal, because I know you have a lot of really great insight to provide and a lot to bring as far as value. So definitely want to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week.
Hey, thank you so much. This is House Talk. We'll see you next week.